Welcome in, friends. Hello. Hi. Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everyone's weekend has been going a swell. But welcome in all. How we doing? What's up, Kill? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Neja, what's up, dude? Hi, Rish. Hello. Hey, how are you? Mayor, hi, friend. How's your weekend? What up, Thay? How's the fam? The fam's good, man. The fam is doing well. The kiddos are putting cardboard all over our house, trying to be creative. They took an old box and they tore it apart, and they're turning it into things like WWE belts and rings and crowns. I don't know what's happening. My house is full of cardboard right now. Which, whatever. Oh, are we ready for some more new Bleasdale today? The public release is tomorrow. Like Mayor just said in chat, we do not know the time yet. When I know the time, I will tell you immediately. Best way ever cardboard. I remember when I was a kid. I remember my mom came home with like a crap ton of paper, and I don't know why. I just remember the first thing that I did was I took the paper and a stapler and I made a paper toilet. I don't know why, but that memory is very vivid. You will have access to the map tomorrow. Yeah, you'll have it tomorrow. I don't know why that memory is so just there. I believe it. Listen, man, listen. I live my life, okay? Listen. I just listen, dude. I've always been somewhat of a creative. It's just we're all creative in our own different ways. Some of us make paintings and music. Some of us make paper toilets. You do you, boo boo. You should show your kids out of the box and give them some inspiration. What's out of the box? Is it like a YouTube series? What's that? Oh, nope, that's weird. I need to remove that, whatever the hell that is. Oh, God. There we go. Fixed it. Old kids show. Out of the box? How old are we talking? Oh, it was a Disney show. Oh, this is the thing about like older TV shows. If it was a Disney show, more than likely I didn't know what it was because we didn't have the Disney Channel when I grew up. So I like had heard of some of these things, but only the kids with all the money. The kids with the money in the Disney Channel and whatever, they saw the show. I don't know why my parents never did. I don't know. It was just the one. We had a crap ton of movie channels. We had endless amounts of movie channels, but we didn't have the Disney Channel. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Hi, Phoenix. Weird. Oh, dude, the new map is so great. I can't wait for you guys to have it tomorrow. I'll keep my eyes peeled as much as I possibly can for a time if they release it. Hi, Mr. Rafa. Heard it was going to be midday. I think what we're basing it off of is probably just the past updates that they've done when it usually comes out. It's usually midday GMT, early morning EST. I don't want to give you guys a time and it be wrong. So I'd rather have an official time directly from them. And then once we have that, we'll be good to go. I can't show you patch notes today. But I can read through patch notes today. Does that make sense? The reason I say that is because the ones that they provided us, there's a very good chance that they're going to change. I don't want to show you a physical copy. It's digital. I don't want to show you a sheet that says, patch notes, blah, 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 and it's the wrong one. Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I'll read through it out loud because there's a couple things in here that are important. We will read through them. Well, what I don't want to do is I don't want to show you this and then you screen grab it and go, well, this is the one. And then tomorrow you have both of them and it's like, which one is the right one? Well, they both say rework. I don't know. That's why. Yeah. Alyssa, hello. Is it me or is there no delay? Oh, is there no delay? Twitch doing okay? Paper copy? Hey, listen, man. I've been getting so many random VHSs in my house. It's been nothing but physical media around me. I love it. It's instant for you. Okay. All right. Whatever. Dude, I'll take it. Nope. Sorry, Rocket League. Not today. Always have delay. I don't know. For me, it was weird. Yesterday I was watching Glay and Break playing together. And when I pulled one of them up, like I pulled Glay up on my TV to watch, and then I pulled him up on my phone, and it was identical. It's almost never identical. Like the TV app, the Twitch app almost always has some sort of weird delay, but like they were perfectly timed. I pulled it up on my phone so I can chat. It was weird. It was very weird. Yeah. Hey, thank you for the follow, dude. Welcome in. But yeah, today we are checking out the new Bleasdales. If you missed it, I posted on YouTube just earlier, right before stream started, my farewell to Bleasdale as we know it today, which was we did an amateur to APOC 3 run, perfect games only, all difficulty challenge. Mr. Tommy Tom is the one that invented that challenge, kind of. But yeah, it's a little bit less than 4 hours. That video is. Yeah. 6 foot. What up, dude? Bella. Good morning. Good morning. Today, I just have water. I had coffee recently. I don't want to like over caffeinate. I'm trying to be very careful about some of these things. So yeah. Goodbye, Bleezy Street. That's right. That is right. Cyber, thank you for the 4 months. Hello. I'm not stopping playing Old Bleez until I get a blood moon. Oh, fair. Oh, there you go. There you go. The final one being a blood moon. I would like to get blood moon on the new one. That'd be sick. Can we wait for Horror 2.0? You're going to have to wait. I'm so sorry, but you're just going to have to wait. That's going to be a while, I think. Oh, Stanley, for 3 months. Thank you, dude. You just followed. I appreciate you. All right, let me get it cracking here. Let's get moving. Yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I just like, again, we've said this a million times over, and I think all the partners have, that this map that they have created, it just gives us so much hope for what is to come. If this is what they can do, like, all aboard, you know? It looks so damn good. It's crazy how different it is looking at like the old Bleasdale and the new Bleasdale. Crazy different. So beautiful. Yeah. Pixel Pixie, thank you for the 11 months. Thank you, friend. K Rich, thank you for the 3. Oh, I had a marathon of only Bleasdale yesterday. Yeah, see, it's a nice little goodbye. I like it. That's what I did. Did both white fences lock in the new Bleasdale map? You know what was weird for me? And I would like to test it today. Happy Bleasdale Day. Thanks, Juju. What I would like to test today, if you guys remember when I played with Mr. Tom, I think I changed my FOV because I was screwing around, did I? I did. When I was playing with Tom, the Dio that evented on me twice and then tried to charge me down, which I need to make a clip of that. That was so funny. I went to go open up the gate that went to the backyard area, and I felt like I couldn't open it. So I think what I might do is I might get the ghost to hunt, and then when the ghost is hunting, try to open that gate again. I don't know if it's supposed to open or not. I don't know. I do not know. Hey, 7, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you, friend. Is the on the stairs a bug or no? Probably not. I don't think that's a bug. I think that's kind of meant to be. I think that I think it's probably a little bit more exaggerated than they want it to be, because you want the person that's upstairs to not sound like they're downstairs. I mean, what would be ideal? Ideally, what you'd want is in a situation like the new Bleasdale, where you have this big open front foyer, like you want to be upstairs and still be heard downstairs, because it's not like it's going through the floor. There's literally an open balcony in front of you, you know? So I wish in that area it was maybe a little bit more echoey or something. And then when you went to the other part of the floor, then it became muffled. Yeah. Where's the new Bleasdale? It's in Phasmophobia. Yeah. Hey, Racky, what's up, dude? Celta, hello. Having a good weekend so far. Yeah, we're getting there, dude. We're getting there. Been random headaches again. Nothing too crazy, though. It's been nothing like a migraine, which is good. Yeah. Echo would be great. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if they have that capability or not to tell the difference, but like the clip I did with Tom, I I went like this 4-foot section. It was like Ace Ventura. Look at. Oh, wait. Freaking bats. Freaking bats. Oh, my camera's in the wrong place. Sorry, that was us playing the other games. Why does the rug look weird? This rug? This one? Oh, I don't know. Probably because it looks like it has a doo-doo stain on it. Wolf Link, how are you? Zero, what up, homie? How's it going, man? You guys been busy? Oh, they're horses. They give her the biddies. Freaking bats. That's right. There she is, the new Bleezy Street. I obviously have not prestiged yet. I'm still waiting. I don't mind losing levels on new prestige stuff as long as we can check out the stuff in the things. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. Do I prefer the new or the old? Well, if anybody says they prefer the old, they're just lying. Would I like to have the capability to play both? Kind of. I think a really good suggestion that somebody made, which I really hope that they consider, is the possibility of opening up some sort of public branch that allows anybody to play it, where it's like a legacy branch, where it allows you to play all these old maps, like the old Bleasdale, old this, old that. Hey, Machine! Dude, thank you for the biddies! Oh my god. I think that would be super cool. So like they're going to revamp Bleasdale. Well, they already did. They're going to revamp Tanglewood. We know they're going to do Edgefield, like probably all of these maps, more than likely. A legacy one where you can go play all the old ones would be super cool. Has the trend? No, it has. Yeah, Lamb, it has. That same day it was found. It's just that Tom and I, we never saw it. Yeah, it was never in sight to us. So it is what it is. Yeah, Johan, what up, dude? Welcome in. Stanley, thank you for the biddies. Caffeine, thank you guys. A legacy tab? That'd be cool. That'd be super cool. I would like that a lot. Are they doing any other maps? Yes. If you go to their Trello, you can see it. Yeah. Yep. Maybe add the old asylum? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they've like erased it from existence, but if they could bring back the old asylum into the build with like the new stuff, like come on. Oh, I think the community would love that to death, man. Would love it. All right. Well, you know, I feel like it's only appropriate for us to start like this. Sunny 1.0. I mean, that's kind of in a way what they were nicknaming Sunny Meadows was like Asylum 2.0. So similar. When's the new map actually being released? Tomorrow. Yeah, they publicly stated it's coming out tomorrow. I haven't seen a time yet, though. Use a lamp in the office on APOC 3. Ghost came up and got him during the next hunt. Oh, I believe it got sick of the lamp sound, too. Oh, no. Poor Dave. Has he completed a successful, perfect APOC 3 yet on the new map? It's your birthday. Happy birthday, dude. Would you be willing to pull up old and new? No. Nope. Nope. The only way I would pull, no, my goal, I have zero intentions of playing the old one. As in pulling up the old and the new, there's an easier way of doing that. Hold on, let me show you this. We showed this on stream. We showed this, but here, Kinetic has literally already done this. They have already done this. Iris, thank you for the 3 months. What's up, Vaughn? What happened? Oh, hey, Machine. Duda. Oh, thank you, man. Oh my god. Where is it? Was it in game announcements? Ah, it was. I found it. Okay. Here, I can show you this real quick, just so that way you can see what I'm talking about by they've already done this for us. Yeah, they've literally already done this for us. Look. You want to see the old and the new? Here's the old and the new. Here we go. Yeah. Hey, thank you for the biddies. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's your birthday. Well, apparently it's everyone's birthday. So happy birthday to everyone who has a birthday in here. We'll just make it a nice blanket statement. Selector, what up, man? How are you? Yeah. So cool. This idea of having all of the old equipment, I mean, all of the old assets in the attic, the old couch, the old mannequin, all that old stuff. Love it. You can use salt to determine Obake and zero evidence. What? What? How? Wait, does it matter which salt? There's the question. Does it matter which one? Gives homage. Yeah, I like that a lot. Song. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's super neat. And then the front, which is the... So someone was asking about the before and after. Does not matter which. But why tier 2, tier 1? I could see why with tier 2 and tier 3. They're very similar in that they are one long stretch. But the other one, the tier 1, is just one little pile. You know what I mean? So what is it about the salt that gives it away, Zero? I would love to experiment with that. Yeah. Recently new to the game, how to identify something's not a mare? How do you identify that it is not a mare? Well, if the ghost turns on a light switch, it's not a mare. The mare has the mare cannot turn on a light switch. So if it does, it's not a mare. That's probably the easiest way to know that the ghost is not a mare. Turning your power on and knowing that the power's on. Then if all of a sudden you see a light come on and you didn't turn it on, it's not a mare. Yeah. It's not a farmhouse anymore. It's a mansion. Oh man. Writing a novel. Oh, you're good, Zero. You're good, man. You don't even have to worry about putting it in here if you want to DM me too. That's totally fine, man. I'm waiting for a songograph. On the way. Help is on the way, dear. Other horses, thank you so much. BT, thank you guys for the biddies. Appreciate you. Yeah, so the differences between the two is pretty night and day. Pretty night and day. It's wild. Yeah, but we're playing it today. We're playing it all day. And then the public release is tomorrow. I might bug them a little bit just to get an idea of when it's going to be. Because I'm not exactly sure. CJ said it currently does nothing. Oh, yeah. The mannequin apparently does nothing right now. But supposedly when we get Grafton remake, that's going to change. So we will see. All right. We're going to go over here. Get this guy going. Do dead people trip the motion sensor light outside? Nope, I tried it. Nope. I actually tried, Juju. I literally let the Dio get me so I could try. And it didn't happen. No, I did not trip it. So the alive players are the only ones that can trip it. Yeah, thank you, Callie. Thank you for the biddies. Yeah, it was a little baby. Yeah, of course. Freaking, we got the stupid kid model. Toothy McToothface 2 maps in a row. Oh, of course. All right. Where is the thing that I can read from? I can't show it, but I can read from it. Okay. Okay. We'll read through this. When am I going to play it? When we're done talking. Yeah. Holding the axe and yelling at it was amazing. It felt very necessary. For sure. What's up, Maddie? How are you? Jamie, hello. Bleasdale doesn't release publicly till tomorrow. No, I have a pinned comment over there, Jamie. For sure. Thunderbolt. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the biddies, man. Damn. Can't wait for you to play Repo again. I'm going to. Apparently there's already mods made for that damn game. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to play it again. For sure. How's the time change going for you? It's okay. I might have stayed up late working on things per the usual. I just can't help it, man. It's just my life. That's my life. I wonder if eventually when you're dead, you can activate the motion sensor. No. Nope. I tried it day one. Nope. Didn't work. Nope. I just wished that they announced the public release instead of playing the, hey, there's going to be an announcement of when we make an announcement. I think what made it a little bit confusing, I think, was this idea of trying to do this like open house thing. I think they were trying to do a neat sort of thing with the creators and everything. I think that it just got, fair enough, it got misconstrued. Like people didn't completely understand what they meant. Like, are you saying it's releasing soon? Is releasing soon? Do you have access? Do I have access? Right. I think that got a little bit confusing for sure. Courtney, thank you for the subs. Hello. Just got the game last night. Any tips? Nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide. Yeah. One of the best things you can figure out. Baslin. My goodness. I watched the clock change from 1:59 to 3. So did I. I was going up to bed and I'm like, wait, it just went an hour ahead. What just happened? Oh, man. No, it's not expired. Try a different browser. No, if Discord's giving you problems, it's try a different browser or a different device. That usually works. Nowhere to hide, but there are places to loop, though. I would never advise the new player to loop, ever. I would never say I'm a new player. Can you give me advice? You should loop. Never in my life would I say that. You don't know the mechanics. You don't know how to loop yet. You don't know how to judge when to use your sprint, when not, what breaks line of sight, what does. I would never tell a new player to loop. I don't advise anybody to loop. If you want to do it, cool, do it. It's not necessary. All these people that do looping nonstop, just showing off. And it's fine because looping's fun. I know like Hydra finds really crazy looping areas where there's basically nothing there and just loops. And it's the funniest thing and still lives, which is crazy. But it's not necessary is what we're saying. Yeah. It's basically just testing the game's mechanics and what can happen and what can't happen. Yeah. What's the challenge? Play the new map. Looping is not my skill. It's fun, you know. It's fine. It's fine. Stanley, thank you so much for the biddies. Hello. What's up, Menno? How are you? Yeah. Okay, let's read through this. I think we're good. I have a few patch notes to read. I just can't show you them because I believe that they're going to change slightly. So the main reason for not showing you guys is you guys having access to a out-of-date version, literally a day before the other one. So I will read through what the notes are. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. When are we going to start? Whenever I hit the ready up and start button. Yeah. Callie, thank you for the biddies. Need to learn and hide before I can loop. Ayo. There we go. All right. So Bleasdale Farmhouse has been fully overhauled with a new layout, new visual assets, and theming. Bleasdale is now closed. Wait, sorry, not closed. Bleasdale, sorry, it's a really small font. There we go. I can move it. Bleasdale is now classed as a medium map due to the increase in size and room count. So this is comparable to the Bleasdale that we currently know it in the public release. So the public release for the new one is tomorrow. Right now, it's the normal 24-hour early access that Kinetic Games partners get. Yeah, Caffeine, thank you for the biddies. The other one, it was different because they did like a 2-hour preview window before because they wanted to try something different. That is why. Can we turn down the music? Is it that loud? Is the music that loud right now? It doesn't sound that loud to me. That's why I'm asking. Thank you for the follows, by the way. I appreciate you. Victor, welcome in. How are you? Hey, how are you? No, it's not. Well, for song and for derp, it is. The music's not that loud at all. Okay. Korvash, thank you for the biddies, man. Music's fine. Music's fine. It was louder on the other song. Well, here, I'll just kick it down one more. It's fine. I got you, boo-boo. Okay. Bleasdale's now classed as a medium map due to the increase in size and room count. This overhaul includes some new environmental features, such as motion sensing exterior lights triggered by players and ghosts alike. So there are certain motion sensors. I think what that means now is that the motion sensors that are outside, the one we did not try was the motion sensor out back. We didn't try that. We tried the one out front. So is it only the motion sensor lights that are inside the map can be triggered by a ghost? And can a dead player do it? Interesting. Interesting. Check the pinned comments, friends. I think a lot of people are kind of ignoring it. Yeah, the pinned comment lets you know what's going on. Yeah. Thank y'all for the hype train. Jesus Christ. Oh, let's see. A bead string door that players and the ghost will move when walking through, which I've heard from some people saying that the ghost can walk through it even when it is just roaming around and not eventing or anything. So I will hopefully see that today. Something small and frightening scuttling about the house. Hopefully we'll see that. And new ghost interactables. New. Ghosts can now light any non-equipment fire source such as fireplaces, campfires, and candles. So that is going to be weird. So now when you have a fireplace that just gets lit and you don't know if it was the ghost or one of your teammates, you have to be very careful. That's a cool change that I like. Does that mean that I could use, if I forget my lighter and they light a fireplace, can I use that fireplace to light my smudge? Can I do that? Some lights can now be toggled with multiple. I'm having a stroke. Hold on. Can now be toggled with multiple switches. Currently Bleasdale only, but these will be added to other locations over time. What? Are they saying basically a three-way switch? Is that what that means? Do you guys know what a three-way switch is? It's when you can control one light with multiple switches. So like when you have like a long hallway, you have a switch over here and a switch over here. They both control one single light. Multiple switches for one light, a three-way switch. Okay. Can toggled. That's weird. I'm going to say something about that. Yeah. And we saw that. We did see that. We saw the one room, I forget which one it was that had the switch. It might've been the dining where the one light could be controlled through two switches. Yeah. Weird. Our hope is the Onryo won't be able to light firelights and then become the, well, so that is a really great question. Would an Onryo have the ability to, like, if I have an Onryo that lights a fireplace, that's really weird. Because they want to get rid of fire, so why would they start it? So if we get an Onryo and we have a ghost that turns on the fire, I'm going to write that down as well, because I don't think that should happen. I think that'd be weird. Are there also confirmed revamps for Grafton in high school? There is no confirmed revamp for high school. Grafton, we know that for 100%. They're trying to release that this year. Yeah, it lights the fire, blows it out. Lights the fire, blows it out. Lights the fire, blows it out, hunts you and kills you. That would suck. That would suck a lot. Okay. Changes. This is a change that people have been asking for ever since this map was released. Point Hope is now classed as a medium map. The Kinetic Games overlords have finally listened that that map is not a damn small map. The walk from the bottom to the top is like 100 years. It is stupid long. And it's fine when the map is classed as a higher map because you get a higher payout. It's more worth it. Point Hope is now a medium map. Frickin' finally, dude. I think sometimes you just get lucky and you get a room that's closer than further away. But most of the time, most of my rooms are all the way at the top. Almost all the time. Nature, look at the pinned comment. Yep. You're asking for chat when you could literally look in chat and see the answer, friend. So does that mean that sanity drain, maybe? Yeah, it's a great question, Grim. Fantastic question. Yeah. Aged more than a Thay getting to the top. All right, what else has changed? All pianos now have new interaction sounds for players and ghosts respectively. All pianos. So you're saying that if I go to Le Graffeton, that I'll have a new piano sound? Does Flash see the YouTube live chat? I'm not sure. I'll let you know later. As I literally read a comment that was from YouTube. Interesting. We might have to check that out today, friends. Pugsy, what's up, dude? Get a ghost to blow out a firelight objective now only counts for player equipment. Firelight tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So ghost blow out a firelight can't happen in Chapel of Sunny Meadows. Love the humor. Well, it's just the attention, the attentiveness is hilarious to me. I just have to, man. Yeah. Hey, Starfruit, what's up, dude? Yeah, Seth gets hello. I have to. Paintings will fall more realistically. I'm assuming that means not through the floor. Performance improvements across all the maps. And then there's a few fixes as well. Xbox users will no longer get stuck on the initialization screen. Words. If no account profile has been set, I'm trying to like scroll while I read this. You'll no longer see white blocks on the side of the screen when loading onto a contract and multiplayer. Thank you. Fix several Spanish questions on the Ouija board. Fix several locations where you could get stuck. Still no update to some of the glitch spots that people use to try to exploit the game, which is sad, but hopefully we'll see that soon. Hopefully. Need a concert on the new piano? Roger that. Have they mentioned anything about the dumb bone spawn? Oh, no, they have not. DM me the Obake thing. Thank you, Zero. Entirely skip the footstep, both UV and the sound, rather than just not showing the UV. So when it steps on any tier of salt, it will begin a sequence of 0 to 4 footsteps. So in a normal 1 to 3 evidence game, you'll hear an audible pause in the sequence of footsteps, step, step, instead of step, step, step. And there will be a missing UV where the gap was sound. This apparently works in 0 evidence since the ability is tied to the footstep rather than the UV. So place the salt. If you hear the gap, see, I think what makes that difficult for me, Zero, I guess just thinking about it off the cuff, is that in my head I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, it stopped walking, so it's turning and going somewhere else. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, weird. All right, let's do let us do a nightmare at the new Bleezy Street. We need to make sure we go check out the other pianos because I'm very curious what they mean by that. But we'll start here. Yeah, let's rock. New Bleezy Street. Oh, love it. Love it. Does anyone know? No, we don't have a time yet. No, if somebody else sees an announcement, please feel free to let me know in chat if they see an announcement from Kinetic about when the update is tomorrow. But I have not heard of one yet. Yeah, not quite yet. Okay. Good. What is... I don't have Google Chrome open. Why is that doing a thing? Okay, that's weird. Weird. Love the cricket sounds. Oh, I love the sounds, man. The sounds are so good. Yeah. The one thing I would love to start to figure out is the lore. I would love to figure out the lore. So I don't know what that's going to take. I don't know what we're missing from the last time that we played this, but yeah, we can go figure it out, I guess. This map on Sunrise, though? Yeah, we'll have to force it because I have yet to actually have the map on Sunrise. Need the lore, so do I. All right, Lisa Watts. Lisa what? Capture photo, motion sensor, and incense. Okay. The sound design is delicious. So good. Basement, there isn't one. Negative. So this will only work when the power's on, obviously. Excuse me. Apologies. Ghosty. All right. I don't know where all the power locations are, so we'll have to kind of figure that out. We'll go say hi to Miss Josie. Hi, Josie. Love you. What just happened? toe sticker. GG's, friend. I need to silence my phone. That just came through 2 places. Whoops. There we go. Oh, and it was a giveaway. If you guys type join in chat, you could win. All right, I know of this one, and I know of the one that is upstairs by the attic. I know of those 2. Ghosty. Waluigi board location, that's not here. Oh, I know of this one outside. That's one of those pool doors I heard about. Nope, not here. Anything out of place out here? No? Okay. Take a gander. Man. There's... Oh, did I hear a thing? What did I hear? I thought I did. No? The back porch is a ghost location? Yes, it is. Did I hear it over here? I thought I heard a ting. Like a glass or something. Oh, I have to learn all the items about the locations, where they sit, if it's normal, if it's not. Ew, the summoning circle, I just realized. Let's go upstairs. I'm gonna get hunted and die before I find anything. Hey, that's open. Let's go. Ghosty. So many interactions. There's tons, man. No mirror. Okay. Ooh. Let's go. No spider today. I haven't heard anything. Are you up here? Oh, you're in the attic. Oh, I see my breath. Walk through the beads. Do it. Walk through the beads. Please. Please. Walk through the beads. For the content. Was that ambient? What did I just hear? Did you see? Wait. Wait, was she here? Is that what that sound was? Where did she go? No, I'm sad. Oh no. I wasn't paying attention. Oh no. Lilith? Hello? Is that the ghost? Yeah, it's touching the door. Okay. All right, Ghosty's here. Yeah, if you guys clip it, please make sure to clip it so I can go. I'll go back and watch. I totally missed it. Man, I'm assuming she's like, it's like one and done. Like she shows up and she's gone. I assume. Okay. Well, Ghosty is here. Let's check our temps. No freezing yet. Is a spider there? I think that's what that sound was. I thought that it was just some random ambient noise. People are saying they saw her. If you're wondering who they saw, oh, that's, look, that 3-way switch. There you go. There's a good example. If you're wondering who they saw, she belongs in here normally, but she's right there. Her name is Lilith. Her name is Lilith. No cards? Damn, dude. What do I have? All right. The ghost hasn't walked through the beads. That makes my heart a little sad. Oh, the circle. Oh, that's right. Duh. Yeah, there's a lot of areas where you have switches that control multiple things, which is really, really nice. You have an easy way of going like this. I assume that's that exact same light. Look, you can retain your sanity through the entire hallway, which is really cool. No, it's the frickin' circle. I literally saw it. I saw it. I actually commented on it. I think I just repressed the memory because I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah. Let me, it's the circle, you silly. Hold on. They clipped it. I want to see it. I want to see it. Go back. Oh, I see her. Oh, I see her. Do you see her? Is this her right here? Hold on. Was that her? Yeah, that was her. Oh, we didn't get to see her move. That absolutely was her. Look. Yeah, you can see it right there. She's on the spider web near the ground. Yeah. Oh, you can see her. Damn it. I wasn't paying. I didn't know that she could spawn in different areas. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. What up, Jay? How you doing, homie? Damn it. Mistakes were made. It's okay. It's okay. Do this. Do this. I don't know how much sanity I've lost, so let's be a little bit careful, SpongeBob. SpongeBob. What was that? What was the thing we were looking at? It was the spider. The spooter. Yeah, the new map has a really cool, just very subtle interactable. It's not like a jump scare or anything like that. Just a nice little creepy ad, a little addition. People were saying about looking through the video camera and it causing some lagging issues. I think I can feel it. Light bleeding in from the wall. Okay. Did you shut the power off, Home Slice? Oh God. This is classified as 2 rooms, right? I can only assume. Philly V, thank you for the 2 months, by the way, friend. I'm so sorry I didn't call that earlier. Thank you. All right, I don't see any orbicals. We might need to, this might be a 2-camera setup, dude. Damn. There's a lot of breaking of line of sight, which can be a really good thing if you're having to run away from Ghosty, but oh, is there anywhere new that we can get fingerprints? Oh, that would be cool. Attic space, attic bedroom. Thank you, Zero. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Kev, what up, homie? It's very unlikely they would have added new ultraviolet locations already. They want to at some point make it where you can literally get fingerprints on the wall. But I don't know when they're going to actually do that. Mallow, thank you for the 3 months. Kev, appreciate you, man. How's the new rework? It's amazing. I can't wait for you guys to play it tomorrow. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Let's go here. Hey. Hey. Turn it back on, you nerd. Place a few sound sets. Yeah, I could. No, but I think they've already figured that out, Emerald. Yeah, about it being 2 separate rooms. Yeah, if you place a sound sensor down, you can literally get the name of a room by looking back in the truck. What role does Stream King have to do in Discord? Stream King. UV on the chairs. Ugh. Oh, I left the light on. Oh, gosh darn it. You can't take me anywhere. Hi, caramba. Hi, caramba. I need a photo of you. You haven't showed up yet. We could try that. Kench, thank you for the 3 months. Hello. Do we have a Slendy? I don't think they added a Slendy. Not to Bleeze. I think Slendy was added just to the campsite maps. Yeah. Anything extra than the map? You mean for tomorrow's release? It's the map. It's the map. The paintings are more eerie. They are. Well, I think that the paintings are more than we think. I think that the paintings partially have to do with some of the lore. Making rookie mistakes. Classic. Dad brain. You don't yell, "Are you a Goryo?" That's not a thing. But yeah, what we were talking about the sound earlier, I think it would be really cool if they could figure out a way to make it where the sound from here to there, when you, a player, are here, anywhere up here, and players there, it doesn't sound muffled. It doesn't sound muffled. It has like almost an like a reverb to it. But then the second that you get away from that area, boom. Notices players here, notices players there, muffled. I'm lagging for you. Refresh the stream because I have dropped 0 frames. Yeah, I can't help your lag, friend. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kench. Oh, thank you for the subs, man. All right, I'll leave this light on. We'll turn the other light off. They say if there's any Easter eggs in there. They have not. That doesn't mean there isn't any. What the fuck is going on? Hello? Are you guys okay? Hello? The woman in the other painting was a witch and had, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're not completely sure yet. I don't know if there's connections to other maps or not. Where are you? Are you near?
Far reaching.
Oh, are you? Far reaching. Oh, Baslin. Dude, I'm topping you off. Thanks, man. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Hi, time. What was that sound? There's no EMF here. Is that ambient? Oh, do I have hiding? I don't think I do. You keep getting wraiths? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Time. Hello, friend. How are you? How have your streams been, friend? I saw you playing Fortnite the other night. Saw you playing the new map the other night. I'm such a lurker. That's my life. Ghost, what is going on, man? Lisa. Lisa, what? Oh, you little shit. No, not again. Gosh, darn it. It's the kid ghost again. Oh, God damn it. Oh, you little shit. Real original. So this is where they locked the kid. They put him in the attic. Or they put Lisa in the attic. Bets on a Dio child? Dude, that'd be okay with me. Hey, can you show up in the dots again? You showed up twice, which was very, very generous. Got it. Relax, dude. Here, we want to try again? I'm gonna probably die. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you friendly? Are you ugly? Where's your mama? How are you? How'd you die? How many elbows do you have? What do you think about the Eagles? Okay. I don't know if it's a D or not. I don't know. We can put down some salt to check for the wraith. I took a photo and it did not disappear, which means it's not a phantom. So that's already one out of the books. For sure. Railroad, thank you for the 2 months. Thank you for the follows, by the way, guys. I appreciate yous. I appreciate yous. If you're not in my Discord already, I do has one. I keep everything updated in there. I put my my YouTube links in there. We have Phasmo information in there. When the new Bleasdale gets remade, when the map itself gets remade, I'll add it to that channel. Because there's some amazing people out there that make amazing assets for the game. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. It's not very angry with you, so not a yokai. Probably not. but it doesn't mean it's not. I think the chances of it being one are very low. Let's bring a smudge just in case. Just in case. I need a motion sensor up there, so let's do that too. Yeah. There we go. I think you talked enough. I think so too. Yeah. BFN, what up, man? Am I a Dio? Except for the first part. I don't do the first part. The last part, yeah, that's me. That's me. Oh, dude, that's like Raiders of the Lost Ark shit. I didn't even see this painting before. Nyan, what up, man? Oh, that's like, oh, that'd be cool. That would be super sick. Because it looks like it's in the, like the side of what's to be like either like a mountain or something. That'd be super cool if this was like a map. Imagine you walk through that door. Damn. Damn. Like Disneyland Haunted Mansion. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I've never been, but I know the pictures and stuff. What do people see in the wallpaper? Oh, they see a skull. Or almost like a snake. They see a skull, but it almost looks like a snake. You know? Like a little bit. A haunted mansion in a mountain with a cave part. We're getting very specific about how we want this to go. Okay, you creep. You're nearby though. Heyo. Heyo. Hit it. Hit it, dog. There you go. Do one of those with the side of one of these. That might be screwed. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you're not a wraith. Oh, are you a little Dio? Relax. Wait. Oh. Okay, you walked in this salt. Is my salt gone? Oh, it's there. Oh, that's where it is. I see a little pile right there. I was like, it's not it's under the carpet. It's there and here. Shut up. There we go. It's really tough to see. Yeah, so it's there, but it's because I put it here. I put it in a bad spot. These carpets are just they're still the worst even on there. Don't put salt in attic. Roger that. Noted. Duly. Did it turn that on and turn it off? Interesting. I think you should be able to get a picture of the spider as an interaction if you find it. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if that's something that you can do or not. We'd have to try, but I think you should be able to. Okay. I'm about to just go light this circle to drop our sanity to see if the ghostie comes and finds us. Because that should give it away. We have dots in Spirit Box, Yokai Dio. We're going to know what it is when it hunts. Jesus. Just smack me with a door, you little a-hole. Oh, look at you, you sicko. Ugh. Gross. All right, I'm turning that off because I don't want you to dot hunt me. Just gonna pee on the carpet. Does that start like that? I assume it does. Oh, that's stupid. I can't light these? Oh, this is no. Nope. Nope. Hate it. Change it. Fix it. Nope. Hate it. You can't light these. This is dumb. Nope. Madge. I don't know what the thought was behind that. Nope. Don't like it. Fix it. Fix it. You can't light the candles. Plan to do perfect games? If the moment arises, then yes. If not, I'm not stressing about perfect games right now. Really, we're just testing the ability of the game. We're just messing around with the maps. Just trying to have fun. Very curious about these. If some of these, I'm sorry, are they curling? Let's go. Unplayable. You can pick the candles up, that's correct, but you can't light them. Dude, they're having like a curling tournament. Let's go. Come on, Josie. Oh wait, no. I told Mel, I promised her that I would save Meow Furion first. So hold on, let's do both. Let's do both. I'll drop the camera, keep the smudge just in case. I promised we don't want to break that promise. They're plastic candles. I still want to light it on fire. Plastic or not, I have flame. Flame won't burn. Burn candle. Must say Pizza Cat. That's right. There's Meow Furion. There you go. Pizza Cat. And there's little Miss Josie. Hold on, we'll put Josie right next to her. Look at it. Look at it. I mean him. You know what I mean. There we go. I'm not going to save every single pet plate. I'm sorry. That's just not going to happen today. Nope. Not going to happen. One day, sure. Today, no. What do you mean, oh, let me spend the next 30 minutes saving every single pet plate. That would be super interesting. Just a couple of cuties. Yeah, I know. Hey, what up, Dexter? I'm good, man. How's it going? All right, you're going to walk through the salt inevitably. Should at some point, though? Absolutely at some point we can. Zero sanity pet plate challenge. All right, if you're going to be a little McDeo pants, you're going to come walk through there so we can get photos of that, which should give us enough. Correct. We have to find the bone. Oh, let me go get another smooge. The ghost of its sacrifice. Do I need a no? I mean, if it traps me, we'll be fine, and then we'll hit it with the smudge. I'm gonna bring another camera though. Yeah, I'm not worried about actually like finishing the circle. We're just gonna light it enough, but we do need to go find the bone. Yeah, let's go find the bone. Are there them shoes? Oh, dude, there is a closet full of them shoes. Absolutely. There is a closet that is just smothered in them shoes. Right now, we're going to look for the bone. After we look for the bone, imagine it spawns in here. It's in the utility room. Did you see the bone earlier? Hey, what up, Revenant? How are you, man? How do you play Phas in VR? Well, it's not native to the Quest, so you have to do it through your PC. Did you see the boner jam in here? If all the shoes? Yeah. I didn't. No, unless you saw a hammer and you thought that was the bone, which is very, very possible. I did not see the bone. Look around here. No. Okay, we'll keep looking. Oh, make sure we turn this off. Wasn't the bone in the closet where you walk? Oh, the glove? Oh, there's a glove in here. It's a glove. It's like a gardening glove. Yeah, if that fooled you to making you think that was it, yeah. All right, let's double check in here. Where's my switch? It's by the doorway. Duh. Okay, relax, grandfather clocks. Oh, I thought that was it. It is not it. Yeah, Dorfin, we actually did see the spider earlier. I just didn't realize it until somebody clipped it. So, super sad that I didn't see it immediately, but we eventually got there. All right, I don't see any boner EMs here. We'll check outside after we check all this stuff. So there's no, so when you go from here to here, is that what this switch is? No, these are both inside this room. So there's no switch here when you walk into this room. No switch here. Does the spider do anything special? It just crawls. It just crawls. Bone under the piano. Nailed it. Does the spider have a name? Lilith. It does have a name. What's my favorite room? That's a great question. I don't know if I have a favorite room yet. There's so many good... There are so many good rooms. I don't know if I've decided which one's my favorite yet. We'll look through the rooms upstairs. I mean, I'm probably going to have to look through the rooms upstairs anyway. I just keep forgetting where the switches are. There we go. The pet plates is pretty damn cool, but I don't want to be that guy and just say, well, just because Josie's pet plate's in there, that's my favorite room. But we might say that anyway. There's a lot of clocks, and I don't know if that was meant to just like make you feel uneasy, or if like it's some sort of reference to, you know, Peter Pan and the Hook. But there's just a shit ton of clocks literally everywhere. Hey Ollie, how are you? We don't have a sneaky boner jam here, do we? Because look at these candles. You can't light them. That is espresso depresso. Let me light the candles as much as I want. There's like 1,500 of them. All right. Look here. They really want you to be aware of what time it is for you. Any boner jams in there? No, don't think so. Okay. Are the pet plates actually pictures of pets? Yes. The pet plates are pictures of pets from the developers, from the partners. Yeah, I'm not sure who else has pet pictures in there, but yeah, there's a bunch. This has to be a DO. I'd say more than likely at this point. I'm not lighting that yet because I want to find the bone. It could be outside. We haven't seen it yet. Let's go outside. Oh, ads are about to start, friends. All you're going to miss is me looking for the bone. I tried to snooze them as long as I could, but... oh, goo. Jesus. This is a big-ass bit. Excuse me. Okay. But yeah, this can be a ghost room, so you need to be careful, SpongeBob, and make sure you're looking for stuff out here. It's going to be upstairs next to the typewriter. That is my guess as of right now. Oh, you deceitful bastard. Those lights are going to startle you. They already do startle me. You turn that on, can you? Oh, you can. I didn't know that. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Didn't know that. There's so many interactables, man. There's so many. Imagine dirty water coming out of that. Ugh. It's gonna be like a rib cage in the middle of the floor up here. You know that that's what's gonna be, right? I kind of don't want to turn the lights on because I don't want to burst any lights. Bone, where are you? This is where Frank spawns. He spawns here. He's not here right now. He's on vacation. This is the F them shoes room. Look at all the shoes. Look at all the shoes. Dark Rosie, thank you for the sub. Hello. Oh, look, more things I can't mess. Wait, can I mess with the paper towels? Hold on. Oh, listen to the sound. That's definitely not the sound of a paper towel. Sponge. Hey. Did you kick the light the second you started hunting, you little asshole? Hey. This little twerp. Take it upstairs. Come on. Kick it. Kick it. Oh, look, the painting fell. It knocked the painting off the wall. Oh my God, look at it yeeting the paintings. Yeesh. Check the fence. I'll do it on the next one. We want to find the bone first. All right. As we made our way across the house looking for the inevitable boner jam. Oh, that's locked. All right, I see no bones here. What am I missing? The bathroom? Mom? Bathroom? Mom? Bathroom? Oh, son of a bitch. Freaking rib cage. In the middle of the floor. I knew it. Oh, wait, so it got the power. I need to turn the power back on. Nerd. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Help. Mom, help. Okay. Pro tip. Watch where you're walking when you don't know what the hell's behind you. Okay, roger that. Don't want to get got by a Dio right now. Ooh, I want to see it mess with these paintings more. Come on, dude. Yeah. Oh my God. Come this way. Come over here. Come over here. Fence. I'll get there. I don't want to do it now. She's making a mess. Now I'll do it. Because now we have time. I think I only needed 3 photos of salt. Correct on Mondo. Okay. So now, so now what we'll do, I've got the flashlight on me. No, that's fine. Let's go get another smudge so we don't trap ourselves. That's cool though. I like the way that the ghosts are throwing the paintings now off the walls. That's pretty cool. Yeah, a Pulte going through there would be amazing. All right, so we've got this, that. We've done all the objectives. We got the bone. Now we're just going to do a little test to see what the fence does over here, to see if it literally makes us stuck or not. Pulte in the tea room. Dude, Pulte in the dining room, Pulte in any of these rooms. Yeah. Map comes out publicly tomorrow. We don't know what time yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. All right, that's a push door. Okay, so that door is open. For some reason, I really struggle bust to get this door open when it hunted the one time. I mean, it's still open and it's hunted multiple times. Where's the light for this joint? Oh, you little shit. Oh, it's hunting. Gosh darn it. So the fence is open. That outside fence is shut. That is an outside door. You can't open it. Let's go for a walk. Come on. So you see that's got a lock symbol on it. You can't open it until now. Why does it always have to crawl? I don't know why it keeps crawling. I'm very Oh, that's the motion sensor light. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Was that not turning on during the hunt? Okay, I don't like that. So, okay, so let's try this then. I'm gonna let it hunt. When it hunts this time, we're gonna hunt with this motion sensor light on, and then we're gonna leave this area. So that should stay on. I don't like that. It wasn't. I was wondering. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if that's something they didn't think about or if it's meant to be that way. I don't know. Yeah, so you can't, because you can't turn a light on or off when the ghost is hunting. So if the light is already on, it stays on. So the motion sensor light automatically being on like this will stay on. And we'll know that because we're going to, oh, hey, there you go. Look at you. You learned how to walk. I'm proud of you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you see how it's staying on now? But if we go to this other motion sensor over here, this will not turn on. Yeah, see that? I don't know how useful that would be. Like, I don't know what use you could make of that. Can I pick up the paintings? Oh, it's sad. This thing made a freaking mess. Look at this. You threw the mail all over the place, you little butthole. All right, we'll take the mail with us. Good to know if it's hunting. If you can't trigger the motion sensor light, yeah, I guess so. They should work regardless. I think so too, because you can't physically turn those lights on or off. The only way you can turn them on or off is by motion with your body. Yeah. Let's see. Anything important on these mail pieces? Let's see what we got here. Is my headlamp on? Yeah. All right. Bleasdale Farmhouse. Is that Hamilton, Connecticut? Bleasdale Farm. The old Bleasdale Farm. It's coming from Ontario. June 25th, 2024. Interesting. Was that when they announced it? I don't remember. Casually making federal... No, I'm not tampering with anything. I'm just looking at it. It's a crime to pick up somebody's mail. Just take a look. Oh, it's in Canada. Oh, it's ON. Oh, yeah, duh, because there's no actual zip code. Yeah, that would make sense. It's in Canada. Is there anything about the map that says, like, Canadian? Like, is there anything about this that's like, this home in Canada has this, as in it won't in America? Oh, look at the frickin'... Hold on. Maple syrup. Okay. Real mature. Oh, the picture of curling. Okay. I guess that's kind of true. Listen, this could help us with our discovery of the lore. Us trying to figure it out. So they're Canadian, which means that they were extremely nice. Oh, man. The address is downtown Hamilton. Oh, gotcha. Okay. What's a curling? There is no a curling. Curling is a sport. Yeah. If you give it a quick Google, it'll show you what it is. The gun kind of throws me off. Me too. And I think we should investigate that a little bit more. But first, let's finish this one. So we got all that. We know it's a DO. Let's get out. Yeah. Interesting. Does Canada have the same electrical plugs as the US? Yeah. If I remember correctly, the plugs in this map are all upside down. I think that was a thing at some point in, like, history. Not history. I guess there's just certain like electrical reasons why you would do that. There is a reason for it. It's not like a whoopsie. It's not a whoopsie. Upside down with the grounding up. That would be my guess. The grounding pin is facing up. Yeah. Yeah, because if you look at a plug, if you look at a standard plug like that you would find in the United States or Canada, you have there's three spots on the plug. You have a hot, a neutral, and a ground. The ground is the bottom one, the little, like the circular one. And that's why when it's upside down, the grounding pin is on the top. Yeah, this standard install practice is used to designate which outlet is controlled by a wall switch. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. But I think all the plugs are upside down. Yeah, weird. Well, there we go. Perfect nightmare. Sweetness. 2400. I love it. I love it. Did anyone manage to see the full address? I can take a look again. Electrical lessons. I only know minimal. Yeah. Shrine, what up, man? How are you? Esmond, hello. Just need different. They're going to make different ghost models at some point. Okay. Mick Matter said, what up? All right. Is there anything specific we should be doing on the map? I would love to figure out more lore. I just don't want to sit here and bore you guys trying to look for it. I think that would be the only issue. The child is banned from Bleasdale for the next 3 rounds. Yes, please. We've had that ghost model 3 times on this map. CC, I'm good. How are you? Always look like a surprised Pikachu face? Yeah. You're pretty boring. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring because I don't like pineapples up my ass like you do? The new weeklies today? Yeah, it's later today. Yeah, but I don't stream. I always do the weekly on Monday, and then I post it on Tuesdays. Which end first? Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice. All right, let's do another nightmare here just to see what room it gives us. I'm just curious what the rooms feel like when you have it as the ghost room.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
We've arrived. Oh my goodness gracious.
Nothing to report, but it looks like whoever was here left free.
Uh-oh. Screenshot worthy. I can pull it from the video later. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's so cool looking. Time to leave. Very freaking cool though. Very freaking cool though. I'll do this for myself. There's a lot of people that are worried about watermarking shit. I don't care. It's gonna be pulled anyway. Who cares? Sorry, is that my inner monologue? Alrighty, well, this is our first blood moon at the new Bleasdale with Lisa Carter. We need to escape, capture a photo, EMF. Oh boy. Oh boy. Our sanity is going to drain faster. The ghost is going to be faster. Should I walk around with a smudge? Would that be a smart decision? It might be. Because if our sanity is draining quickly, and this is a medium map, I think it's going to drain way faster than we think. So we'll definitely take one. Now, the chances of me living are still lower because I don't know where to go. Oh, look at the reflection, though. Look at that. That's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's gonna be spicy. Ah! Alright, we need to find the power. Stat. Pronto. First things first. I'm the realist. No power. Okay, next. How's the ambience? Oh, we'll get up there, friend. Hopefully we'll get up there. I have a smudge. Hopefully that'll keep us alive long enough to find it. No circle. AO power. Let's go. Sweet. Okay. We've got the juice. Gamer fan, hello. All right, let's go upstairs. We want to see what the attic looks like with Blood Moon. Isabella, I love you. Goodbye. That means mom's busy. That's exactly what that means. He what? No, I'm not. He's a liar. And now my son's messaging me. What is happening? Literally all three of them at once? What is going on? Oh, my son. Okay. I forgot that Mrs. Flash took Landon to go look at a suit. Okay. I just heard a noise. I don't know what it was. What is that? What is that outside? Oh, is the ghost outside? Boner jam. Eyes peeled for Lilith, by the way. I didn't see her immediately. Yeah, he's getting a little suit. Yeah. There's the Blood Moon. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of windows up here. What do I prefer? I have them both. The reason I have them both is so I can drop the flashlight and still be able to see. Okay. So, did you guys hear it? I'm fairly certain I heard the motion sensor light going off outside on that side door where the hose is. So if that's what's going on, I'm gonna go pop this door open over here and we're gonna see it happening. What are you gonna prestige? I might do it not today, maybe tomorrow. I'm fairly certain that Ghosty's out here somewhere. These are motion sensor lights. The only way that these go off is when a player or a ghost walks by it. That means the ghost is literally just walking back and forth here. All right, well, at least we can bring all of our stuff here. That's cool. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's gonna be Yuri. Well, if it wants to slam the door shut, that's fine. All right, we're gonna bring at least one of everything over there. Now, I do have this camera here. Look! The ghost is there right now. We know that because the light is on right now. Does that mean that a mayor can turn on the lights now? That's a fantastic question. I think it does complicate things a little bit because if you think about what is on me right now? Okay. If you think about the way that these motion sensor lights work, they work like normal lights in the sense that when the light goes on, if the ghost is hunting, it doesn't go off. Yeah. Ghost is out there. Hey. Now, I don't know if this entire thing is classified as one. I would assume this is one room. But I don't know if that's technically the room. We're just going to get stuff there to be at the ready. But it's not turning on the light, right? It's not physically turning a light switch on. It's just, it's like the ghost body itself is setting off that light. Should be one. I assume this is one. This is one. That is one. Yeah. Frank, thank you for the 13 months, dude. That's the assumption. All right, let's get this. Let's take one of those. Let's get this. And UV. Have you or the kids gotten into Animal Crossing at all? I used to be, a little bit. A little bit. Back in the day. Wait a minute. Oh, the ghost is here. It's walking here. That was like, why is this light on? Well, well, well. Ghosty is walking around back and forth in that room. It is either a stalking ghost that's coming from that back area to the front, or that's the room. Yeah. A lantern, yeah. Yeah, you assumed. Yeah, you assumed. All right, let's get this guy. We'll get another smudge over there. And we'll get... I need a photo of you, Stinky. Uh-oh, Stinky. Confirm the ghost can go outside? Yeah. On this map, it can go around the back porch and around that side area, yeah. You thought the title was the pinned comment. What? All right, I've got this. I've got a lighter. We got this. We got this. All right, time to set up shop. Go there. Go there. Oh, there's our breath. There's our breath. Get this. This. I didn't see any orbs, so we'll just go with that for now. Put that down. Now, I didn't grab... I do have dots, though. Oh, this... I might need to double dot this area. This is a large area to put dots down. Can't open that. Here. We'll shut some doors. We'll shut some doors. The spirit box... Does Spirit Box work with them being on? What a fantastic question. I don't know. Gosh darn it. There we go. That is a wonderful question. When it's going back like this, will this work right now or no? How the hell do I do Spirit Box when these lights keep going on and off? Look, the ghost is over there right now. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Hey, are you here? Oh, god dang it, you're in the light. Where are you? I needed her to event like here. Son of a bitch. Oh, open up. Gosh darn it. Freezing temps. Lovely. Turn off the power. I get, dude, that would be a real huge pain in the ass. If you have to turn off the power to make that happen, woof. Woof. Is there a light switch for the motion sensor lights? No. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Red Hulk, I only answer like a parrot and mock things if somebody gives 50. Then I'll say whatever they want. Yeah. Weirdo. Needed the photo too. I didn't care about the photo right now. Oh, we'll get it. I was more worried about trying to get the response than I was about the photo. No, there's some sciencing that needs to be had here. We have a sciencing to be had. Does this count? Shut up, Carrier. Shut up, Carrier. Will the on-road test be valid with motion sensor lights? What? Wait, let's go here. Okay, it's probably gonna come this way. Oh, never mind. It's still over there. Steppies. Nothing. Groovy. All right, now let's get this, get this, get this. It could be EMF. We haven't had a lot of EMF interactions. It threw the book, so it can't be writing. Is there a lot to interact with out here? Maybe. Oh, all these tools are interactable. Oh, look at that hoe. Yeah. No, the Goryo does not have freezing. No, if we're going to get dots, we can see it in person. Bone. Look at all these tools. Can it be a Pulte? No, damn. That'd be pretty funny. Anything else interactable over here? Not that I can tell. No, I don't think so. Okay. Can you be a shade? Although you have vented when I was standing here, and if this is technically the same room. Oh, you shut the power off. Oh, this might be my chance for Spirit Box. Hey, what up, Cherry? Thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you, friend. The ghost wants to ask me a question. What's her name? Lisa Carter. Lisa. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, lady. Gotta get you some Visine. Holy hell. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? God damn. All right, she's not interacting with that stuff, man. Her venting on me like that makes me think not a shade. If we look at our ghosties, we have no orbs. The only thing we have is freezing so far. That's it. That is it. I don't want to give her a hug. No, tell her to F off. Let's just say that this is the one we're not getting, and that's what it is. Then we're looking at Jin, Shade, Oni, or twins. It can't be a Jin because it kicked the power. Oni is possible. I mean, it's vented a couple times, but nothing too crazy. The speed we have to be extremely careful about because it's not going to be the same speed. All right. Where did I find the power originally? Was it back there? It was back through there, yeah? I have double smudge. We'll be all right. I believe that is through here. Yeah. There it is. So Jin is out. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I have a question. What? I'm sorry, do I not exist? Thank you. Can ghosts that are outside here interact with objects inside the house? I don't know. I heard an object get moved inside of the house, and then I saw that light move right there. I would think they could throw things through the walls. So would I, but I don't want to guarantee that. I'm wondering if the object I heard inside was the possible twin. But again, we're assuming that we're getting EMF 5. So I don't know. Where's my EMFer? Let's go inside. Because it sounded like it was in there, yeah? Yeah, there's stuff moved in here. It might have just been through the wall. No UV? No. Negative. This definitely is not where that belongs, so it's moved stuff there too. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. You are so aggressive. Jesus. Leave me alone. Oh, we have EMF 5. There it is. There's a 5er. Okay. Hot diggity dog. All right, let's turn you off. What photos do I have? I just have the ghost. Get that guy. Get that guy. Get that guy. Dang, dude. Dang, dude. She do be crazy, though. Now the fun part. I found the bone and picked it up already, right? Am I confusing two matches together? Hey, Static. Appreciate it, man. Granny's Angie. Tell me, she needs Visine. She's upset about it. Fair play to her. All right, we need to escape. It was in the attic. Yeah, okay. So I need 6 more photos, which that would do. We need to escape, though. So we need old Red Eyes over here to hunt. So I got this. I got this. We'll bring in another smudge. Life. We can figure out what the cursed possession is. I haven't found that yet. Hi, Tash. Hello. What are you doing, dude? All right, we'll get you to go upstairs. We'll do it this way. Want to play hardball? Let's play hardball. We'll leave the camera here because we can get the photos of that stuff here. Yeah. Hey, what up, Atomic? How are you? Does it have red eyes because of the blood moon? That is correct. Correct on Mondo. Hi, Josie. Pizza Cat will be back for you. There's Josie. Oh my god. Yeah, this is feeling very twinny. This is feeling awfully twinny. That's a far right. For it to be over here, I don't know, man. Now, if we use Mr. Zero's website, if we use the cheat sheet, which is a very lovely tool, call it a cheat sheet just because it has a lot of information about all the ghosts that you can find in one place, which is awesome. Super cool. Super freaking neat. But one really cool thing that you can do is that you can actually listen to the ghost speeds here. So if we think it's twins, right? Normally, what would the slow twin sound like? So if we want to use, let's just use default footsteps. Oh wait, sorry, I'm on the wrong speed, my bad. Sorry, this is what the normal ghost, the normal twin, slow twin would sound like this, which was just a hair slower. 10% slower than a normal ghost. If we turn on Blood Moon, this is what the slow twin sounds like. Almost normal. And the fast twin would sound like this. So it gives you an idea of how the sounds are. But yeah, this little Blood Moon button up here is a way to do that. So a normal 100% speed ghost is going to sound like this. Yeah. There we go. Cool, cool. So let's go find out what our cursed possession is. Neo! Think of the 3 months, man. 1, 2, 3. Am I cheating? Am I cheating by using a website that has information? No. No, it's called being resourceful. I'm gonna leave you here. Oh, I didn't look for the music box. Oh yeah, somebody said that earlier. I'm sorry. That was a very, very fair point. You bitch. I do have the music box. Told my professor the same thing. Stupid. Okay. Why'd you two? Okay, listen to the speed. Listen. Didn't look like an Oni. It sounded pretty fast too. Man, this front door is really loud. Holy hell. You better relax, twin. 3, 4, 5, 6. You're really, really, really a venti though. Okay, you're really, really, really a venti though. Are we sure? Good God. Okay, we'll have her hunt again. I've got all the photos. We got the bone. Okay. Sensing an Oni. Let's watch her this time. Damn. What up, Tay? How are you, man? Better relax, lady. Was that a hiss ball event? No, we hadn't had one at all, which is why I'm a little skeptical at the moment. For sure. What up, Kale? It's all in your head. If she spawns up here, uh-oh. I should probably find hiding up here, yeah? That'd probably be schmat. Is that slow twin? That sounds normal speed. That's got to be slow twin. That has to be slow twin. Has to be. That sounded basically normal. And on a blood moon? On a blood moon? No way. Gosh darn it, that's loud. Nice throw, dude. Yeah, that sounded normal. And there's no... These ghosts would both sound the same speed. Also, the blinks didn't look very different for us either. But man, super eventy. I mean, the blood moon... does kind of bring that up a little bit. Oh, it's the Oni twins. Oh yeah, classic Oni twins. Photos, bone. Oh man. Woo. Trick shots. Send her to do perfect. Send her to do perfect. Alrighty. Twins it is. First blood moon. Dang. I'm glad that it was a ghost model that actually had eyeballs. Because if it was not, then yeah.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
First blood moon was the twins. Man, this ghost was so eventy. I was almost deceived. I'm still very curious though. Still very curious. I gotta move my alerts. I'm still very, very curious about the lights outside. Those motion sensor lights. I think they're gonna mess with stuff, man. I really do. See you, Railroad. Have a good one, man. Have you tested your visibility through the glass doors? It couldn't see. I'm fairly certain she couldn't see me because I had the glass doors shut into the tea room. And when I started to go upstairs, she just was looping that room. So we were okay. Yeah. Do I stream for a living? No. No. I have a 50-hour plus a week job as a full-time video editor for a production house where I also am a cinematographer. Yeah. How's my day? My day's good. Yeah, my day was going pretty well. There were some people that were just like spamming, trying to get self promo, which was annoying. But other than that, it was fine. But 2300 blood moon. There's our bonus. Hey, yo. How do you feel about the color map layouts versus the blueprint in the truck? I like it. Yeah. When they introduced it, love it. It's great. Issa great. 14 minutes. 14 minutes until ads are about to start. I could probably do another one. Nice job. I've been doing it professionally for almost 10 years. Probably 10 years, actually. Ish. Yummy money. Okay. What can I do quickly? You know what we can do? I have 13 minutes. This is going to be stupid. Let's do it. Preset. Nightmare. No sanity. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm such a moron. We're going to do no sanity, no evidence run. Because why not? Because why not? Could have sworn Flash learned the bathroom curtain blocks line of sight. Yes. Yeah. So I'd say if it's safe to say, yeah, the glass doors. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, the piano sounds. Oh, we could do that first. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's do that. Let's do that before we run ads. That's a great point. They said in that note, like in the patch notes, that the piano sounds are different now on the other maps as well. So if you think about where we have pianos to do that, there's Sunny Meadows, there's Grafton, there's Old Bleast. No, I could go to Grafton. There's a piano in Grafton. Let's do that. Edgefield piano? Yeah. Plenty. So let's go take a look. I don't have 150 speed right now, but that's okay. Really, this is just to hear the piano. That's it. Did they though? Did they though? Oh, so they all play this. Okay. I kind of wish they played different things. Like the new Bleasdale, you have the music here that says Adrift. But yeah. What if I went in Mambo number 5? I guess we'll have to ask them to allow us to cheat the game a little bit. No, we'll go back to here. Okay.
Welcome back.
All right. I have 11 minutes. That means we have time. We have time for me to do the no evidence run. So we're going to try it. Alrighty. No evidence, no sanity at Bleasdale. I'm not gonna know where to go to hide from this ghost, but F it. F it.
We've arrived.
We're going for it anyway. Do I have fog? Oh, this is my first time having fog. Oh yeah, my preset. I forgot about my preset. Oh, my game's frozen. Never mind. Oh, my goodness. Phew. I gotta try the different weather types. I really, really do. Wonder if they're all the same because of copyright. It would not be that hard to have music that's not copyright that you can play, piano sounds and things, or have the ability. I don't know how hard it would be to make the piano where you could actually like go up the scale and back. That would be pretty sick. Okay, crucifix, this, that, this. I'm probably not going to take a flashlight. We're going to take this. I might double smudge just out of safety. Motion sensor, firelight, and parabolic. Okay. The fog is cool, right? Look at this. Look at this. My Lord. Love it. We're doing all the weathers today. All right. Where can I immediately go? I know upstairs we have that looping spot with the shower curtain in the bathroom up there. Down here, let's just pretend that all hiding spots are blocked. I think what we need to start looking for is natural hiding spots. Natural hiding spots, which we don't know. Kitchen loop. Yeah, there's looping spots, but I'm wondering about just natural spots where you can sit down and the ghost can't immediately see you. Kitchen loop. Again, we know about there are spots where you can loop. There's tons of spots where you can loop, but I'm wondering where you can just sit and ghosty can't see you. Like the piano. Yeah. Did you shut the power off? Okay. You can hear the moths. Fuck it. It's hunting? Yeah. Wasn't there a tub? Yeah, it was upstairs. When it stops hunting, we're going to take a look around the room. When the power's off, does it stop the motion sensor lights? Yeah, they only work when the power's on. Played a song. Whoops. Sorry, I just really like playing piano. I have a second smudge, we're fine. Ooh, what about in here? I mean, Ghosty can go outside there, which is yikes. But you could do it here. Went so fast to burn my smudge. Does this doesn't break line of sight? There's no way. Oh, this lamp. Oh, F that lamp. I assume the chairs. The couches? They don't. Okay. What about here? If Ghosty's pathing up there a lot? Really? I mean, I could do this. If Ghosty's upstairs, I could watch it like this. Maybe. Oh, God. Reflection make that a little tough. Some WD-40. I'll work on it. What if I turn this light off? Never mind. You know what? I didn't want to anyway. There he goes. Maybe the chair behind the typewriter? Yeah, maybe. Just turn off the room lights. Oh, okay. He walked all the way outside. Damn. Hot diggity dog. Urgh. All right, I don't know what room it's in. This could be a bad idea, but fudge it. We're gonna go check it out anyway. You know what? If we get got, we get got. Oh, it's in the room next to me, I think. Oh, right there. Wait a minute. Oh, dude, you just tuck nice and comfortable right here. Yeah, this isn't considered a hiding spot, right? Speed run? No, just no situational awareness. Where does the voodoo doll spawn on Tanglewood? Because that's where we are. The voodoo dolls on Tanglewood, it spawns on a bench inside of the kitchen. I'm not at Tanglewood, so I can't exactly show you that. All right, Ghosty. There's... Oh, it just opened the door for me. Hello. Hey, how are you? We're just looking around the rooms, looking for spots to tuck ourselves. Really, we could go over here. Hold on. Hallway light, let's go. Oh, Frank's in the garage, not on the bench. Dude, I'm thinking about freaking Ridgeview. Yeah, Frank spawns on the trash can. I'm losing it. But why aren't you at Tanglewood? That's a very fair question. Hey, Kylie, how are you? Frank's a grouch. No, he's just tired. Poor little guy. Okay, so you can hide back here, which is a really awesome spot for upstairs. Oh, it's going upstairs in the attic. You hear that? That's kind of cool. That was pretty neat. Okay. What the hell was that sound? Old HR Chuck and stuff is in here throwing a bunch of shit. Put this here. That's obviously locked. Ghosty wants to explore too? Okay, fair. It'll see me once it leaves the room. Fresh coffee. Where did... Oh, it's right here. Give me this. Oh, it started hunting in another room. You little butthole. Hey, what is this? Let's watch it from here. Can I open this? Oh, can you imagine if you could use that to break line of sight? Open. It's gonna see me. I just. be sneaky. It would be sneaky. It'd be super freaking neat. There's the hallway switch right there. Look at that. That's nice. Comes out tomorrow, noob. Yeah, they've said it publicly in their Discord on, I don't know if they announced it on Steam or not, on their socials. Yeah, tomorrow. So none of this is going to break line of sight. Ghosty is now hunting away from this room. We're way too big to fit in spots like that. Yeah, it's hunting from over there now. Okay. Why is the closet locked? Because there's no hiding. Yeah, if it's a hiding spot, that's why. Super excited to play the new map tomorrow. Man, it's going to be awesome. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Appreciate you. Lil, thank you for the 3 months. Hello. All right, Ghosty is no longer near this area. Chip, it's awesome, man. So you're saying you see me. Is that a djinn? I feel like that's a djinn. What can I take with me? What can I steal from you? We can steal this. You're just an absolute crazy person with picture frames, apparently. Umbrella? Mine. Speed up? I think so. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Gonna go with it. Jen. Now I can't put down the umbrella, so it's mine. Ads are about to start, which is freaking perfect timing. Perfect timing. Oh, it was a spirit.
Job's ready for you.
Oh, that was weird. Why did it seem like it did a sprint? Forgot your pet. No, I got her outside of the house. She's safe. She's fine. That was weird. I'll have to go back and check that. That was freaking weird. Stinky spirit, I guess. I think it just had a lot of line of sight. But how? It only saw me when it got to that one point. Did it somehow have line of sight of me when it shouldn't have had line of sight of me? I don't, that was weird. All right, ads are running. All right, we wait. It was looking through the walls. Cheater. Absolute cheater. Hey, mermaid, how are you? Prestige run? Ooh, I could. I could. Because I need a prestige anyway. Hey, what up, Saki? Appreciate it, man. Your ghost only hunt with 0 sanity? Well, mine have been fine for the most part. Rody! 27 months. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit. Streaming normal time tomorrow or doing something special for the map release? Probably normal time. I need to talk to Break because I might be doing the weekly tomorrow with Break if she's down. Yeah. Rody, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you, dude. Dude. It's 2 a.m. for you. Damn. Damn. What is normal time? There's my schedule in chat. Yep. I also have that same schedule in Discord as well. In Discord, usually I put if there's any sort of special event happening, if I'm doing something different, I usually put it there. Yeah. 2 p.m. for you. It's 3 for me. Really enjoy how you do the ads. I try, man. I do. Many other people do it this way. It's just, it's the best in my opinion, since we have to do them, that this is the way to do them. Yeah. No ads is great. Yeah, that's why I do turbo. I have turbo, so I don't get them anywhere. I haven't seen a Twitch ad and I don't know how long. It's been quite a long time. Yes, sir. Roxy, hello, friend. What time? I don't know. They haven't announced, or I haven't seen, so I'll take a look in a second and see if they give if they've given us any information. I haven't seen anything, so it's noon for you. Gotcha. Roxy, how are you, friend? How's it going? But yeah, this map comes out tomorrow publicly. We just don't know what time yet. We're trying to figure that out. Hopefully soon. Galactic, hello. All right, Adrenal. We are back. Let me see. Let me see. Boo-doo-boo. Excited to play with friends? Yeah, man, it's gonna be so cool. I'll ask in the Discord, actually. Let me scroll back real fast and double check. I don't want to ask questions that I've already had answers to them. Let's see. Let us see. Master, thank you for the follow. Panther, thank you for the sub. Yeah, I'm going to ask right now. Do we know what time the public release is tomorrow? All right. We'll see what they say. Hopefully they give us a good response. Have I played Repo? I have. Yep. Played it the other day. Are they doing Grafton too? They will be. Yeah, it's on the list for the 2025 roadmap. Yes, sir. What makes me make videos about Phaz and why? Well, I mean, I think me answering what makes me make videos is me answering why. The reason I make videos about Phasmophobia, it's because the game I enjoy. I want to make videos about games, and this is the game that I love to play, so I'm going to make videos about it. Yeah. What houses are on the list? Click on that Trello link, Melanie, and you'll see the list that they have. Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. I'm just holding for a second to see if somebody responds. There might have been an answer there already, and I just didn't see it. So I'm waiting to see if we know what that is. Yeah, Repo was a blast. I'm definitely playing that again. Yeah. I mean, what makes you make videos about anything that you do? It's because you enjoy doing it, right? Yeah. Haven't seen anything more than roughly, okay. Yeah, I don't think we have any official answers yet. Have I done any farming sims? It's just not usually the type of games I play. The blog still, yeah, it's going to say that until they release something else. Well, as of right now, it is still TBD. We can just assume that it is going to be midday GMT tomorrow. So until when I get a better answer, I will respond accordingly. Yeah. You want to see Chesney play? Oh, you want to see her play Repo? Yeah. Oh, we will convince her to play Repo. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to set this to professional, and we're going to play this, and we're going to look around a little bit. I don't know. We're going to look at some things, and like almost, we're going to play the game while also looking around to see if we can just notice things that are sort of lore worthy. Something that might have something to do with the lore, because man, I'm just curious. Just curious.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get
We got fog again. What is the new update? Map. Tomorrow. Public. Yeah. Alrighty. It is Joe Hill. Motion sensor, EMF, and escape. But we're going to take a look around. We'll take a peek. See what we can find. Some lore hunting? Yeah, while we also play. So there's some spiciness to it. So it's not just roaming around the map. We can, but you know, yeah. What is the difference between Nightmare and Professional? You have 2 evidence instead of 3, less hiding spots. Let's get the lights on first. See if there's any other spots. No EMF challenge. Well, that doesn't sound very interesting. Hey, the power's here again. Interesting. Very strange. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate you. Thank you. Guy, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate you, dude. Oh, there was a gifted. Oh, thank you. I missed that somehow. Oh, we're just gonna pick you up. So, we are making assumptions right now that the lore has something to do with him. Nope, it's over here. And with her. These are the assumptions right now. Do I hear a clock over there and a clock over here at the same time? Hate it. Hate it. But yeah, we are assuming there's a lore with her and with him. Now, what are some other things you notice about the map? Well, can I open this? What's funny is that this is considered a hiding spot, so it's not open all the time. But look, yeah, all the plugs are upside down. Now that's, well, why are there plugs in here? That doesn't make sense. But look, there's a pistol box with a pistol missing. What did y'all name her? Oh crap, I don't remember now. I'd have to go back and think about it. There's a missing gun. They're to charge the pistol. Okay. Samantha, Lady Samantha, that's what it was. Yeah. Madam Madeline. Oh, I think that was the other option, wasn't it? Oh, damn. Yeah, it's a great freaking question, man. I don't know what else is different about it. I mean, obviously the upstairs is different, right? The attic, you know? Pixel, thank you for the biddies. Hey, how are you? I don't think the photos really have much to do with anything. I would assume not. But it's hard to say. Look, we got a lighthouse. Frickin' Stonehenge, okay. What other pictures are there that I haven't really paid attention to? Whatever that's supposed to be. Some random mountain. Yeah, but if you go to the attic, though... Oh! Is that Lilith? There she is. Hi, friend. Where you going? Hey, come back. Hold on. If you're curious as to who that is, if you're a little bit curious as to who that is, she belongs in here and the case is broken. But if you look down here, you can see Lilith. She's scared. That's okay. We don't want to scare her. Oh, man. That's my first time actually, like, getting a really good look at her in game. You think the picture of the lighthouse is Point Hope? I mean, maybe. But yeah, like, look at all this stuff up here. So, you have... the book that's a little bit difficult to read. Like, you could zoom in a little bit here. I wish that showed stuff. Dude, if that shows something, you know how cool that would be? But yeah, there's this guy, which we can't really tell what that is. But Purification Brew. I mean, this was obviously very strategic. Like, this is meant... you can't move it either. You think the poster could end up being an event? That'd be cool. These candles are lit, obviously, but none of the other ones we can light. Yeah. I don't know. The bottle says hair tonic. It does say hair tonic. Yep. Oh, man. But yeah, you've got a bunch of dream catchers. You've got this random bedroom up here. But you're looking for things that are very obvious, right? Some of these are pixelated, and I don't think they are. These are very obvious. But I don't know if they have anything to do with the lore. Random laptop you can turn on. Some coffee. What would the crystal ball do? For example, something like the mirror doesn't. I don't know. That would be super cool if all of a sudden that thing showed some image where like you could see the ghost. Does the Edgefield poster mean that they might change that map next? Well, I don't know about this year, but I believe Edgefield is on their Trello as a map that they're going to change. Like update. Yeah, so eventually. Yeah, web to low. But then you've got a bunch of tarot cards here. These are not from the deck, obviously. But you've got tarot cards, crystal ball, purification brew, herbology. Like, you've got a way to make things over here. Like, you can't read any of this jazz, but yeah, it has something to do with it. The crystal ball should hint where the bone is. Oh, that would be kind of cool. That would actually be pretty neat. I would like that. Maybe the person created the cursed items. Yeah, but the only one that the only one you have over, there's nothing to indicate that they created like a mirror or did something to, I don't know. I like that idea though. I do like the idea that the cursed possessions came about in some way. They didn't just show up, right? Look at the two that were played on the table. Oh, the devil card and the death card? Well, then you've got some on the floor. Like, you have the fool card, and then you have other ones you can't see. Yeah. So those are the only ones that we can, like these two and the fool card are the only ones we can visibly see. Little Asia, thank you so much for the 15 months. Appreciate you. Can you walk around with the crystal ball? You can. I don't think it does anything. I mean, it definitely skews. That would be crazy if it actually, like, if you looked through it and it showed you something. They might have died because of the cards. Maybe. Maybe, but is there any sign of, like, death anywhere here? I think they'll add more cards. I don't know. Do I hear a radio? Maybe. But yeah. There's a ghost. There's that sign of death. I mean, touche. I hate you. Yeah, we'll look around here for a minute too. See if there's anything we haven't noticed before. Way to set the tone. Way to set the tone. Little, is that? Oh, you can. A little measuring tape. The mirror cracked, maybe. Maybe. I don't know what is anything else here though. Could be cool if it shows you the ghost when it hunts. That would be pretty damn awesome. Okay, what other rooms have different stuff in it? I'm gonna get hunted and probably get killed, but that's okay. It's all part of the fun. That's why we're here. I think it's downstairs. Yo, what up, lady? How are you? Yeah, more of these random photos of like different locations. There's also this that has a bunch of pins on the map. You notice that none of these are in Canada because this building, I mean, this house is in Canada. there anything else here that looks different? Supernatural. Oh, the show Supernatural? Yeah, maybe. So you've got a bunch of papers on the ground. Are those actually legible? Like, can you really make that out? I wish you could. It almost looks like you can, but I don't think so. Or maybe you can. Oh, that does say stuff. Hold on. Does that say the whisper? Does that say the whisper in the wells? What? Trying to figure out the lore. Yeah, me too. Is there a closer paper I can look at here? I'm at 60 FOV right now. Just so we can try. Really, I could screen grab it. But yeah, there's multiple pages. Because look, this is a different page. Hold on. You, go away. Oh yeah, there's more here. Let me turn off my... Let me turn this off. I could try to enhance this later. Bring them up so I can take a look. Bring them up, bring them up. With the original notes. Wait, what? Oh, Solograph. The original notes on what they were doing in the reworks. The people were supposed... Wait, what? Enhance. Supposed to be adventurers, explorers, collectors, so it makes sense to have pics and things from their travels. Oh, true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, a lot of like artifacts and things like that too. Like this guy. Some sort of like fossil, right? Zoom enhance? Yeah, there's nowhere else where the papers are. I can't move this briefcase. I give it 6 hours for release. Dude, if somebody else figures it out, that's awesome. That's great. I would love to see it. If we figure it out, awesome, great. Love to see it. The map is so pretty, I can't. I know. Ant, thank you so much for the 4 months, man. It's literally Clue. It's Clue. But yeah, the only thing I can make out from this guy here, as close as I can zoom anyway. Is it? Oh, the whisper in the walls? I think it says the whisper in the walls. The one page has 3 different angles of text. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. This here? Yeah. With the crystal ball? Oh, that's a great question. Oh, Song, what a great idea. Let's go get it. I'm at 60 FOV, so this might be a little jarring. Uh-oh. Is the ghost up here? Because look how zoomed that makes it. That's a really, really great point. Is a book series, so maybe the house is modeled after something in those books. Oh, maybe. Okay. Where can I safely do this? Is there a paper over here? No. We have to do it here. It's fine. This one. You son of a bitch! Nerd. The second we go to look. It's so skewed, man. I can't see a damn thing. F you, you jerk. Yeah, that'll be fine. I can't. No, that's illegible. You can't make out shit when you're looking through this thing. Look. No, that was such a great suggestion, but I don't think so. Are you? Where's my FOV? This ghost is getting annoyed now. It's gonna kill us. Maybe right idea, wrong place. Oh, you mean looking through the old crystals? Maybe. If ghost kills me, that's fine. Hadouken! Interesting. The ghost, you know I'm trying to hunt you, right? But yeah. Yeah, it's not very helpful. It's so hard to say, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think there's more to dive into. I think there is more to dive into, and I kind of want to figure it out. What are you doing, dude? They should add a place for sausage in the hole. I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset. You know what? I'm going to guess this ghost and go. It never hunted us. My sanity's at 80, though. Yeah, it's probably Goryo. The crystal ball shot put.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Do I keep looking around for lore, or do I just play the map normally? That's the question. Cosmic, no worries. I appreciate you. Thank you. Definitely Goryo? Yeah. I think they just spelled it wrong. Lore? Listen, I'm down for searching, man. I'm down for doing some looks. Keep luring around? All right, we'll lure around. Let me do this, though, so that we can change our speed. So we can sprint to different locations if we need to. Player speed. There we go. All right, should be safe. I believe I have the event and stuff up, so just in case Ghost decides to be a butthole. But yeah, let's go take a look. Keep trying to figure it out? Yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, no, we won't. We're going to try to figure it out. Actually, wait. Go back. Hold on.
Welcome back.
Sunrise. I haven't seen sunrise yet. I ain't seen it.
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation.
Oh my god, there's actually birds chirping during sunrise. Oh my Lanta. Hold on. I need to... No, not field of view. I need to bring the cursor down. So I can do one of these guys. Look at the map like this. Use this as a probable ending for one of my videos. Just do that and just sit there for a second. It's like a screensaver. Why do you make it with the jaws of death? Okay. Keep it nice. Love you. Oh, she's so funny. All right. That is enough. Let's go inside. All right, so we need our flashlights. We don't care, Charles. We just need to look at the map. All right, where do we go first? Someone was saying that the person in the attic was the niece. Well, what would possibly give away that someone was a niece? We know that we have this guy. We know that we have the lady over there. I don't know if these photos are actually relative to anything or not. Like, it's hard to tell if these are meant to be to whom. Right. Well, where does that information come from? You know? You have these random photos of random people. They said the niece uncle thing in the early dev notes. Oh, where did they say that? Like which dev note so I can see it? What if it's related to the ghost models? No, I don't think so. No, the ghost models are always very random. Check the mail. It's funny, is this one spawns upside down. I'm sorry, does that say $6.50? For a newspaper? What are we in the future? All the mail looks very similar. Times are tough for print. It's all very similar. They just have different like looks of the outside. Like these two are almost identical. What's really funny is that this is so it's Ontario mail, but they all have an American flag postage stamp. Interesting. Maybe that's part of the lore. I hear you, Ghost. Shut up. I hear you, Ghosty. Card said something to do. Everything in the game map design is. Oh yeah, no. This design, like this map, the way they laid things out, the reason they place things in certain places, it has a reason. You just have to figure out what it is. 51st. I hate it here. Is it mailed from the U.S.? Was it? Was it though? I mean, there's no... The only thing we see is Bleasdale Farm, Ontario. Don't see a return address. Oh, Ontario... Really? I saw Ontario and immediately thought Ontario. Ontario represent. So there's where your postage stamp came from. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. Anything in here that would be? I mean, you obviously have some sort of crazy pet person. I hear you. Shut up. Just go to AskCheeves.com. Hey, yo. Did Song ever find the dev note? Or is he literally searching for it right now? Oh. Okay. Might still be searching. Okay. Yeah, the only thing this room really tells you is crazy pet person. Crazy pet person. Hi, Josie. Crazy pet person. I somehow got a picture of my dog. Hasn't talked in a while. He's on the search. I mean, early dev previews where they said, where they said something about a niece or an uncle. So my question is, where is that? I mean, I could start searching as well, but it shouldn't be that hard to find, right? Let's see. It's into walls. Roger that. Um, have you looked in all the things that open? What? All the things that open? What you mean? All right. I don't know if he's going to find something. Lilith ate them. Damn. It's a hungry Spidey. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, I thought I saw a mannequin. I was like, oh, I thought they couldn't move. Never mind. I think the power's over this way. I thought I heard it over this way. Not this way. Sorry. I'm way too fast right now. Nope, I didn't. Lies. Slander. Lies and slander. Where did I hear the power? I heard it here. Oh, listen outside. It's so nice. Look at that view. Jeeves, how's your weekend, Fred? Hey, Pingro, how are you? Have you had a little Pulte on this map? No, not yet. One of these days, Alice. One of these days. It's so pretty. Look at it, dude. It's so pretty. That light doesn't go there. Where, oh, that's over here. That's these. That's right. That's those. Daylight savings messed you up. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. Not good. Where do I want to look next? So that guy, the lady, song is, I believe, still on the search for dev notes. I believe. These people obviously traveled like crazy because they've got a lot of artifacts. Tons of stuff. Meh. They have all the locations that they've been, which they've been all over the world. Australia, South America, I mean, they're all the way over in China. They've been everywhere. Everywhere. Can I do a full tour? I mean, I literally have a video up on YouTube of my full tour. Yeah. Poking around on Google Maps for the approximate location. Oh, that's a cool painting. I hear the ghost downstairs. Nothing special about the bathroom that I can tell. Unless there's like someone's ashes. Dying flower. Probably got Lilith from their trip to Australia. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a ghost. It's downstairs. It's downstairs. Do the book names have anything to do with anything? Look at all the writing that's just been like over and over and over again. Hey, a matchstick. Is there even a fire? What the hell are you supposed to light with this? We have the fire downstairs. Is there the fire? Is there one over here? There's one in the bedroom too, right? Isn't there one over here? No? I thought there was one in here. Probably for the cigars. Yeah, but since they have a matchstick here, I was just curious if you could actually light something on fire nearby. It's hard to say. Yeah, you can't light the candles on fire. That's a no-go. That's a no-no. That would be really funny if you could light this on fire, though. The actual cigar. What if pictures are related to the map locations? It's possible. Yeah, because you've got like a desert here. With the Kakatai. And it looks like you've got a location that's like over by Cali. Then you have one in the middle of the country, one over there. But then like some of these other ones, yeah, it's so random. Of the lore thought? Yeah, I can look. Still thinking there may be psychic and wrote the client's stories within the typewriter and collected stuff from each person that helped. Interesting thought. Okay. We've tried a UV before, but that doesn't mean that nowhere has UV. We tried it in the attic. We didn't try it at other places. Yeah, we know we have the fireplace downstairs. I found a mention of the attic room being the... Oh, in Dev Preview 16. Ooh, interesting. Thank you, Ezzy. Okay, let me pull that up real fast. Interesting. Okay. So it looks like they're aiming for middle of the day, a little bit later, UTC for the update tomorrow, but it'll probably be a little bit later. Just to give you guys a heads up. Just so you're aware for the release tomorrow. Dev Preview 16. Let me find it. There's 17. 16. Okay, let me pull this up. Interesting. Interesting. Console update. Point Hope. Farmhouse. Oh, it was in the rework. Okay. Oh, this, you know what's interesting? It's interesting looking at what the way that they were designing this to begin with. So if you look at the preview, the way that they had it, like this right here had those cases in it. We just never thought. Look at the window, the dream catchers. Interesting. Interesting. So this one said Bleasdale will receive the opposite treatment, as that's such a large building. We wanted to nudge it closer to the Grand Mansion style house it had once been. Madison, thank you for the biddies. I think Song's been searching for the past like 10 minutes, so someone just saved him a lot of time. Thank you, Song. Rooms will be ornate and cluttered with statues and expensive belongings. Some rooms have been repurposed, with one bedroom now becoming the owner's collectible room, filled with rare objects from his travels. Guns, cultural trinkets, and memorabilia filling glass cases, which the trophy room we know about. Another bedroom has been converted into the wife's tea room, adorned with doilies, plates painted with cute animals, and lots of pink. Okay. Lastly, the attic has had quite the overhaul. The staircase has been moved, and the room itself has been split into two parts. Now, this was preview, so things could have changed between now and then, but this is a good sign of what it could be. The first half is the attic storage, crammed to the brim with barely stable boxes, old furniture, dusty memories. The second half has been inhabited by the couple's granddaughter, a girl that loves the unknown. Her self-converted bedroom is covered with witchy belongings, suspiciously haunting books, and dream catchers. So there tells you who's up there, or whose room that is. This is the couple's granddaughter, that man and that woman. Now, we haven't seen any names or anything yet, so we don't know their official names or anything, but she loves the unknown. She has witchy belongings, suspiciously haunting books. Interesting. Okay. So that gives us a little bit more insight as to who we have. Any clues on the suspicious books? The ones that she has in the attic? I don't know. Let's go take a look. Now that we have a different idea of who's up here, yeah? Knew we saw stuff somewhere. I just didn't remember it, man. That preview was from how long ago? Oh, I got rid of it. It was January. It was a year ago. So by looking at this, I mean, you still have the bed, you still have the terrariums and stuff. Yeah. 13, 14 months ago. Yeah. Yeah, a little over a year. Oh, look at the outside. Oh my Lord. But yeah, that's why we have suspiciously haunting things. And they said about the book, I mean, again, I can't get a better look at that, but purification brew. You can make out the shipping labels on the boxes. I don't know if that means anything or not. We have like tubs over here. These boxes, I think, are just generic whatevers. Yeah, remember to through the images. Oh, Ezzy, that was a really good call, dude. Very, very good call. Like, some of these things, like, they have things on them. You just can't mess with them. Like, I can't... September? I wish I could zoom in further. Like, in my game, but I can't. This is the closest I can get. And I can't move this book. So I could screen grab it and look at it after. Yeah, so this is the couple's granddaughter, right? How's the coffee still steaming? Yeah, you know. That's what everyone's worried about? The coffee still steaming? That's what you care about? With smaller resolution, make it larger? No, I could always just blow up the image. I could take the image and just blow it up. It's a good insulated mug. Right, it's a Yeti mug. You ever seen a Yeti mug? They're crazy. Let me get this. Enhance. Oh, wrong scene. Sorry. Yeah, it's really tough. It's like when you zoom in, it's really tough to make that out. I'm gonna have to like try to literally enhance the image. She's definitely dabbling in witchcraft. That's my favorite room so far. This room is so cool. Love them Yetis. They're so good. Yeah. It's tough to see what this is. 1963. Okay. But when you zoom in on this, look. That's the resolution when you zoom in. I think it's either 63 or 65. It looks like 63. Okay. Yeah, I think it's 63. I'm going to stay with the 60 POV just so I don't have to keep going back and forth in case we see something that's actually useful. But this says the same thing. That says the exact same thing. I think it's a 3. Like in the new version, it's really cool. We're just trying to dive a little deeper. Yeah. So purification brew. Use red cloth bag, burn mixture. Interesting. That's a hexafoil in that book. It's supposed to be for protection. Oh, protection from what? There's also more of the papers with story or whatever. It's on the table. On the table in this room. Quartz crystal, orange root, nutmeg. What does that say? Oh. That's hard to say. I thought it said sacrifice. I don't think so, though. Yes? If you make the images black and white, it's a little easier. Oh, yeah, I could do that. Like a scan, almost. Yeah. And then I could enhance the writing. Yeah, there's papers here with like these little guys on it. But like you can't see what that says. Use a red cloth bag. Yeah, I read that part. Absolutely. This is the attic, yeah. Get out of here. Burn the material. Imagine if that's what this was for. Like you literally try to burn something in this house with this. If there's some sort of deeper thing that we're supposed to be able to do to figure out, that would be so freaking cool. I don't think that there is, but if there is, that would be really fucking cool. Yeah, thank you for the gifted active canine. Yeah, some sort of Easter egg, exactly. Now it says, like, yeah, because you don't. This has nothing to do with anything. This literally, you can't put anything in it. But use red cloth bag. 3 days. What does that sound? Is it the beads? Or did we hear the spider? Is that Lilith? Where's my flashlight? Didn't I have a flashlight? Where'd it go? How do we get the Jeffrey song? Oh, that's for Prime subs. Table with the cards? What? Oh, it's over here. Oh, no, I put it over here. No? I thought I heard little, like, creepy crawlies. I thought maybe that was her. The woman in the office looks a little bit like Rhonda. Oh my god, look at the bone. Get out of here, dude. Attic boner. Alright, I'm gonna go turn this light off for now. We'll come back. Check the garden for things now that it's light outside. Yeah, we definitely can. Oh, fuck. So we know that that is the granddaughter. The granddaughter stays up there. This woman and that man are the grandparents. Now, what they were writing, I don't know. They obviously travel a crap ton. And they love a good drink. There's bottles to be found everywhere. Also in this hiding spot, there's a missing gun. Gotta save Milo. Oh my god, hi Neon. I don't know if this room has anything like in it that's telling, other than different locations again. Hey Big, how are you, dude? Thank you for the follows. Welcome in, friends. Hello. Man, every single thing in here has been bagged. Everything. Can't open anything in here. The pins in the map. Pins in the map, I'm assuming are just locations that they have been. I assume. Hi, Frank. There's Frank. Is the portrait of the younger woman the young woman ghost model? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. Wait, is that Maple Lodge? I can't. Oh, there's so many random things you can't see. You can't move it. The Hantu Herald. Oh, did you also see this, by the way? Did you guys miss this part? Original Six Finger single malt Scotch whiskey. Heritage. Distilled at a single distillery in Kelso, Scotland, located near Hadrian's Wall, the original taste of Six Finger whiskey hails from local malted, barely matured and yeah. And then there's also Dark Tribute, and then there's also Demon, The details are so good. Yeah, Noel, what did you say? You saw something? Oh, the Obake cookbook is amazing. The Obake? I love it. The Ascendants. While watching the Obake off. Yeah, we're just deep diving some details now. At this point, we are. Throwing bottles on the floor. They didn't break. It's fine. That'd be cool if you could look into that, like a little jump scare. How sick would that be? Wife on shelf in urn. Wait, what? This open one? I hope not. Have I played the music on the piano? I have. Yeah. This is one of the first things I did when I walked into that room was play the piano. So I don't know what that is, but it's a picture of the campsite. It's really hard to see. Very hard to see. Got a mannequin, a little area here. That we didn't see anything. More photos. Okay. Next. We saw this one. The trophy room. Has more locations they've probably been. On the shelf in the office. Oh, here? Wouldn't, I mean, but if it's an urn, I mean... if that's an urn, that's a big urn. You know what I mean? Like, if that is supposed to be an urn, I don't think I've ever seen one of that size before. The whisper in the walls, and it's just my imagination, she explained. Oh, the things you can make out in the writing. Oh. It's a wine jug. In the bookshelf. I just think the wife has passed. In the bookshelf? Oh, over here maybe. Oh, here. If, dude, okay, yeah, that would probably have been too much if something would have came out of that. Why won't it stand up now? What? Okay. You can't pick that one up. You can pick this one up, though. Doesn't the ghost smash the glass in the trophy room? What? Smash the glass? The gun, yeah, it's missing. We just don't know. We don't know where it would be. Like, we haven't seen any signs of where the gun would have gone. You got this? Oh, you can move this? I'll say at first it looked like a 5. Do you think there's an Easter egg? I feel like they probably have done something pretty cool here with lore, and we just don't know what it is that they've done. What if the granddaughter thought the grandparents were possessed by something and tried to make the purification thing but failed and killed the grandparents with the gun and they died, or she died from the purification thing failing? It's a great question. It's a good point. No, she was into witchcraft and things like that. I think that is pretty sound right now. What does this say? Ninth circle of hell. You think the granddaughter got put into Sunny Meadows? Well, you notice we haven't seen a single... Well, we don't know what the granddaughter looked like. This is the couple. This woman and that guy over here. This is the couple. He looks significantly older than she does. Which is also very interesting. Get Sam and Dean in here? Yeah. Do the eyes track the player? Well, I mean, when somebody... No, like... When somebody is looking forward at a camera, it's going to look like they're always looking at you. Are we sure that the pic in the study is not the granddaughter instead? Would they put a massive picture of the granddaughter on the wall? It could be. She does look fairly young. She does look fairly young. It's a good point. But if it is, then where the hell is the wife? Is there a picture of anyone else in the animal room? We can take a look. Who's in the portrait in the attic? The portrait in the attic? The wife is Pam. Oh no. The portrait. I'm on 60 FOV, so if it's a little jarring, I'm sorry. Oh, these are old. These are like old asset photos, I think. Right? That's an old asset photo, right? Is it? I think of the portraits of the dead daughter. The ghost right now? Stop trying to figure everything out. You're lucky I can't haunt you. Drifters, hello. Careful choice to put it at the front. I just don't know how convinced I am if that's an old asset or not. Because yes, it blends in with all the other ones. I just don't know if I remember her. What if the husband hated the wife, so after she died, she put the picture there? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. The match location? Oh, where I got the single match? Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, there's nothing else here that I can tell right now, anyway. Nothing else that is super telling of anything. There might be more here, we just don't know about it. Hide the body somewhere. Imagine if we looked inside of like this case and you saw like part of a body. Oh my god. Crazy talk. That'd be cool though. I mean, as gross as that would be, it'd still be pretty cool. Hey, Vision. Find the spider. We did. We did. Time to pull up the old map and look for her. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I played it enough recently. I probably have enough footage I could go take a peek. Probably could. All right, this is just a bunch of old trinkets and things and whatnot. Hey, what up, Granny? Yeah. Lift that up, I can. Okay. So these books. This is Heavy as the Crown, Ninth Circle of Hell, and The Ascendants. The picture in the attic is an old one from the old Bleasdale. Okay, there you go. So just a coinky dink, I suppose. Lighting. No, you can't light the candles. You can't actually light them. I have the ghosty again. As for this room, just a bunch of pet photos, man. No, I think it's going to take a lot more diving into. Can't pick anything up here, right? The medal's in the trophy room, the U.S. flag next to it. Isn't that what you are given when the family member dies in the U.S. military? Or am I going insane? That's a fairly good point. You could also pick up this medal that you can't. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. I was like, oh, why can't I? There it is. It doesn't show in my hand. Oh, okay. So I can't see it. It's in my hand right now. Yay, 90 FOV, yay. But yeah, you can pick up only that one. And, okay. And that. But yeah, you make a very good point, though. A very good point. So if you're given the flag, but so they live in Canada. They live in Canada. We're thinking that possibly dude was a part of the military and he passed on duty, like in duty, and then they were given this. Her and the granddaughter come to live here. Maybe they have dual citizenship. All right, we're diving deep. What if they moved after he passed? Right. Right. That's a very good point. Made you think of a movie, Keeping Mum. Oh my God. Yeah, so if that's the, what happened, right, what happened to the parents? So if we have grandparents that are housing a granddaughter, what happened to the parent? Wait a minute, who are you? What I don't know, what I'm very uncertain of, is if these photos are just stock or if they have significance. I'd say some of them are probably stock. Some of these look like they were pulled directly from somewhere. But like this very distinct old lady. It looks like a real person, not like a painting like this guy. But why have a trophy room? That's an old man kind of thing. So, I don't know. I mean, right, that's a really good point too. Maybe they... I don't know. Maybe he made this room and then like he then passed and then in his memory, she did that, you know? Oh my God. Good luck deciphering that. So lost. Oh, we are too. It's okay. There's a lot going on that's going to take a big old deep dive that we have not had the ability. Right now, there's like a million things we're speculating. What if it was her in the military, not him, right? But yeah, we can pick up a sword. All of these open, so you can mess with all this stuff. The flag could be from the great-grandparents. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, man. As good as mine. We know that they traveled a lot. We know they collected a lot of things. Yeah. You need to relax. Still thinking the parents of the girl, and that's why she's living with the... Wait. And that's why she's living with the grandparents? Yeah, maybe. Maybe, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any further today. I'm sure that there's going to be some people that figure this out, like, in an instant. On the doors that lead... Oh, check the garden. Oh, you wanted me to do that. Oh, yeah, that's right. On the doors that lead to the back garden, the same symbol is found in the book on the same table on the laptop. Ooh. Ship? You're saying on the wait. You're saying on the door? On the doors that lead to the back garden. What doors? You mean the doors on the outside, like over here? I didn't need to go through here. I could have done like this. On this door? Oh, you mean the outside? You mean this door? Oh, you mean this one? I see what you mean. Yeah. The actual. This door. Look at that. So when Ghosty bursts the lights, those motion sensor lights go bye-bye. BGM felt very alone. You still can't really see that well out here, Song. Relax, homie. Stupid ghost. You got gardening. Like, were they buried out here in the garden? The 6-point rows. Yeah, so what they're pointing at, if you look at this symbol, but also if you look in the attic. So if we head that way. The ghost is so sick of us doing our own thing. If we go up here. And we look at the book. Was it this book or the other book? I think it was this book over here. This book. That book right there. What they're talking about is that. That symbol. That is that symbol right there. It's the same. So we don't know if there's any significance to it or not. It's supposed to be a symbol of protection. Elfin alchemy flower. Gotcha. Is there a postcard? I haven't seen any postcards. No. Is the same symbol in the dream catchers? No, these are different. But could definitely look similar just because of the whole protection thing. Yeah. A lot to deep dive, man. Do you have an idea? No, we don't. We don't. That's why we're trying to just take a look at everything just to get an idea. Because we're not sure. It's a symbol of the royal slices of pizza, no pineapple. Ah, see? All we needed was Glay. That's all we needed. How's it going, Glay? Does this book have any writing on it? No, it's completely empty. Completely empty. Completely empty. It was on Instant Stream. What was? What is the granddaughter? What if the granddaughter's the one that stashed the body under the cabin at Maple Lodge? You did see. Oh my god. I mean, that's okay. Fair point. There is a body underneath the cabin at Maple that's been there since the old lobby. It has been around forever. Suitcases in the attic look like the granddaughter was getting ready to leave or just setting in. Well, there's a lot of boxes around. A lot of boxes, a lot of books. The Bleasdale poster, wait, has pulled corners? Did they hide something under it? The Bleasdale poster. The Bleasdale poster? What? You mean the Edgefield poster? You mean this one? Because that technically does too. Has every map an Easter egg? No. No, absolutely not. No, I'm gonna get a headache trying to think about all this. No, you're fine. And listen, at this point, until we learn anything, everything's a possibility. We have no clue, man. No idea. Yeah, it's going to take a lot more deep diving. I just don't want to spend the next 2 hours aimlessly walking around. There isn't enough rugs. Yeah, we could add more.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
Yeah. What if the ghost can throw the posters? I would assume not. I don't think so. Oh, I know what you mean. You're talking about the newspaper. Yeah, that's people just assuming. We don't know. Yeah. When's the map released? Tomorrow. Tomorrow. In the lobby, 2 few rugs. Right. I mean, well, listen, there's a rug. To be fair, there's not one up here, right? Yeah, see? Look. A rug. There's not too many. It's fine. Oh, man. All right. Friends, it is past 4 o'clock. It is me. That means it's time for me to turn into a pumpkin so I can go hang out with the fam. But I appreciate you, friends. Thank you for chilling with me today. YouTube's much loves. Tomorrow I have the weekly, and then after the weekly, we might dive back into some more Blees. We might try some other stuffs. I appreciate you, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stick around. We're going to go find someone to raid and say hello. Raid and say hello. I'll do the wheel spin tomorrow, by the way. We'll do the wheel spin tomorrow. Let's see. Let us see. Let us see. All right. So I'm trying to raid before the ads happen because the ads are about to happen. So I'm going to make them happen fast. All right. If you're a follower, the first one's for you. Subs, the next one's for you. Creepy tier 3s, the next one's for you. We are going to go say hi to a lovely being that we were playing games with the other day. He is not playing Phaz. He is playing Repo. Ads already happened, but I can't. This game was so much fun, man. I can't wait to dive back in and play this again. It was so good. So freaking good. We're definitely going to try it again. Hopefully, Glacius, I hope we get to play this, man. It was so fun. Trying it tonight. We have to find a time. We have to get the group together and play. We got to get the gang back together. It was so fun, man. It was too good. All right. Do we want to wait until after the ads to raid in? I mean, they can still see the chat, even though, because I don't want people to sit here for 3 minutes and have to wait. Okay, we'll do this. Thank you, friends. See ya tomorrow. All right. My friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Had a blast checking out the map again. Again, the public release is going to be tomorrow. As for the time it's happening tomorrow, we don't know. It's probably happening later in the day. So just keep your eyes peeled for the Discord. Keep your eyes peeled for their socials. And you'll get all the things. When video release for Repo? Hopefully soon. I have a couple I need to release, man. Yeah, we'll get them out there soon. All right, friends, let's go say hi to Mr. Mathman. He's a lovely bean. He's playing Repo, the game that we played the other day. So again, if you guys are not in the Discord link is here. The rest of the socials are there. I love you all. Thank you for everything you do. I appreciate you. I'll go bye.